Good evening. The purpose of this video is to detail the building expansion project for Applied Engineering and Sales. We are Team 1, Jason, Aaron, Clayton, and Scott. Applied Engineering and Sales is a provider of tooling solutions to the foundry industry, primarily serving steel and iron castings. Traditionally, this tooling has been made using manual production methods from skilled tradesmen. Recently, we have begun to utilize CNC equipment to create the wood patterns. This leads to lower overhead and shorter lead times. In addition, the engineering, sales, and manufacturing staff are all off-site in 3 different facilities. The purpose of this project is to expand our current building to provide space for additional equipment that will be purchased. This new equipment will increase productivity, throughput, and capacity for Applied Engineering and Sales. In addition, a new office space will be created to house the engineering, sales, and manufacturing staff all in one building. There are several key project deliverables for this project. The first are finalized building drawings. These drawings will be used by contractors for quoting as well as obtaining building permits. The next key deliverable is having the electrical utilities installed, as these are often long lead time items. Next, the networking and HVAC systems are installed. At that time, final building inspections can be completed. And then, finally, landscaping around the new structure will be completed and the project will be finished. There are many components to the project breakdown. First, the requirements and design must be completed. This is done with input from employees, the anticipated machine dimensions for the new equipment, sales projections, workflow patterns, budget constraints, and which all lead to the final deliverable of the building drawings. The pre-construction phase includes obtaining quotes for the building and systems, obtaining building permits, as well as financing for the project. The construction phase first includes breaking ground at the site, pouring concrete for the foundation of the building, framing and roofing of the building, finishing the exterior, then finishing the interior of the structure, and finally installing the services for electricity, telephone, sprinklers, and HVAC. Once the construction is completed, equipment installation will begin, first in the office areas, then the air compressor to supply compressed air to the facility, and then installing the new CNC equipment. The finalization phase of the building will include final building inspection, machine setup, landscaping around the building expansion, then finally site cleanup. The targeted start date for this project is March 7th, 2011. This spring start time is very good for construction, as most snow is already fallen and the ground will not be frozen for easy excavation of the site. 4 months and 5 days later, the project should be completed with a target end date of July 12th, 2011. The total budget for this building expansion is fixed at $100,000. This includes $50,000 for the new structure itself, $16,500 for the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, $6,000 for office equipment and furnishings, $4,000 for new walkway to the building expansion, as well as the landscaping around the structure, which is a grand total of $80,500. The additional $19,500 will be available if crashing the project is necessary to maintain the timeline or if there are any construction overruns. Ultimately, the president of Applied Engineering and Sales has responsibility for this project. Reporting to him are the financial manager, the management team led by sales, machining, and engineering managers, as well as the general contractor. Reporting to the general contractor are the superintendent, the job site safety officer, the architect, and the subcontractors. Construction workers report to the superintendent, and reporting to the architect are functional consultants, a space planning consultant, a structural engineer, and a code compliance officer. This diagram details the position of the existing building as well as the different areas of the new expansion. Conceptually, there will be the new entryway, an area for offices and the computer network room, a material storage and preparation area with an air compressor in the back of this room, then a machining area where the new equipment will be installed, a finishing area, as well as a painting location, a quality inspection room, and finally a shipping and receiving dock. These areas will all be finalized in dimensions after input from team members. Most of the construction for this expansion will be handled through a contractor. They will be responsible for the structure, the building design, the HVAC system, all electrical wiring, and computer networking. Landscaping of the structure and a walkway to the expansion will both be handled from a different contractor. With any project there will be risks, and the contractor has perhaps the most risks of anyone on this project. They will be responsible for maintaining the budget, maintaining the schedule, meeting local building codes, and handling any weather delays until the exterior sheathing is complete and interior finish work can begin. In addition, they will also be responsible for obtaining building permits. The project team also has some risk. They will be responsible for any project delays causing loss of new business due to the expansion not being completed on time. They will also be responsible for managing any contractor oversight. And ultimately, if the project is a failure, the project team will be responsible. The critical path for this project includes obtaining the building permits and contractor selection, as well as completing the building design and then actually building the structure. Installing the HVAC is also critical as the components for this system have long lead times. And finally, finishing the interior, as there are many subsystems to doing this. Two key areas of the performance of this project involve the timeline as well as the budget. There will be weekly reviews with the project team to ensure that the timeline is being followed. These meetings will help to ensure that man-hours are being utilized efficiently. If any part of the project is falling behind schedule, the team will rebalance the assignments as required. In addition to weekly meetings to review the timeline, the budget will also be discussed. This meeting will ensure that the contractor is following the budget and comparing what has been spent to actual costs. This project will be terminated by integration into the existing business. A checklist will be developed at project termination. This checklist will ensure that everything required for this project is completed and there are no outstanding required tasks. The new expansion will be streamlined into existing production, new equipment will be installed, and new staff will be hired and trained. In conclusion, this project will add productivity and profitability for applied engineering and sales. The project is estimated to last a little over 4 months, at a cost of less than $100,000. A majority of the project will be contracted to local vendors. Finally, there is a low financial risk with huge payoffs of increased sales. Thank you.